A quiet hush spreads across the backstage hallway of America's Got Talent. Crew members turn their heads to look at the boy walking toward the stage. He's small, maybe 12, wearing a crisp white polo, dark jeans, and old sneakers. Nothing about his clothing hints at who he is. No flashy jewelry, no brand-name outfit. If anything, he looks like any other shy kid about to audition in front of millions. But the whispers follow him like a breeze. That's him, the Filipino kid. They say he owns companies. They say he's worth millions. Even the crew doesn't know the full truth. Some say his family owns resorts. Some say he built an online business. Others claim he's the youngest investor in Southeast Asia. Whatever the real story is, the boy never acknowledges it. He keeps his eyes on his hands, rubbing his fingers nervously like he's afraid they'll shake on stage. The stage manager kneels down to his height and smiles reassuringly. "Are you ready?" she asks. The boy nods lightly, not confident, just polite. He clutches the microphone so tightly you'd think it might fall if he loosened his grip for even a moment. The stage doors open, flooding him with blinding white light and the roaring sound of thousands of people chatting, laughing, cheering. He squints and steps forward. Inside the arena, the atmosphere is electric. People are waving posters, wearing LED headbands, shouting greetings across rows. It's the energy of a live show that's about to witness something big. They just don't know it yet. The boy walks toward the glowing X taped on the stage floor, the spot where dreams either ignite or die. He takes a breath, looks up, and sees the judges for the very first time. Heidi Klum leans forward, curious. Sofia Vergara gives him a warm smile. Howie Mandel sits upright, surprised by how young he looks. And Simon Cowell, cold, analyzing, unreadable, stares straight into the boy's eyes like he's scanning his soul. "Hello," Simon says, his British tone sharp yet calm. The boy answers softly, "Hello, sir." His voice trembles slightly. "What's your name?" Simon asks. "My name is Leon," he replies. "And how old are you?" "I'm 12. There's a soft murmur from the audience. 12? He looks so young, someone whispers. "What will you be doing for us today?" Simon asks. Leon swallows. "I'll be singing Hotel California." The audience reacts instantly, gasps, surprised murmurs, a few cheers. It's a legendary song, iconic, difficult, deep, and far from easy for an adult, let alone a child. Simon raises an eyebrow. "That's quite a choice," he says, skeptical but intrigued. "Why that song?" Leon takes a tiny breath. "It's the song my father used to play." The judges nod, sensing emotion, but they don't know the full story. No one does. What they don't know is that Leon's father was the reason he ever became rich, not because of inheritance or fame, not because of business, but because of something far less glamorous and far more inspiring. Leon didn't start out wealthy. He grew up in a tiny coastal town in the Philippines, living in a small wooden house with peeling paint, rusty hinges, and a roof that leaked when the rain came. His father worked as a guitarist in local bars, earning barely enough to put food on the table. His mother sold fried snacks outside their home. Leon's childhood was simple, sometimes joyful, sometimes painful, but always filled with music. His father taught him guitar chords on an old battered instrument with a crack in the body. His mother would hum along as she cooked. Music was their escape from bills, debts, and long nights of worry. Everything changed when his father passed away unexpectedly. The details were never shared publicly. It was too painful for Leon to talk about, but in the aftermath, something extraordinary happened. Leon discovered a hidden file on his father's old computer, unfinished songs, business ideas, projects he had dreamed of but never completed. Heartbroken yet determined, Leon spent months learning how to upload, edit, code, and create. He posted his father's music online, sharing the emotional story behind it. People around the world connected deeply with their journey. Streams turned into revenue. Revenue turned into investments. Investments grew. Doors opened. And without ever meaning to, the boy became wealthy. Wealth built on a legacy of love, loss, and determination. But Leon never told this to anyone. Not the judges, not the audience, not the world, because none of it mattered to him as much as honoring his father's memory. And Hotel California was the song they used to sing together on late nights when the electricity would go out, and they'd light a candle and play until the sun came up. So now, standing on the AGT stage, he grips the microphone, closes his eyes, and hears his father's voice in his head. "Sing it with your heart, Anak. Let the music speak for you." The crowd settles down. Simon folds his arms. The lights dim. The quiet is so deep you could hear someone breathing in the 15th row. Then the first line leaves his lips. It's soft, smooth, haunting. His voice sounds too clean for a child, too emotional for someone so young, too controlled for a beginner. The audience freezes. Conversations die mid-sentence. Heidi's eyes widen. Howie mouths, "Wow." Sophia leans in, stunned. Simon's expression changes instantly, eyes narrowing, one brow rising, head tilting slightly like he just heard something he can't quite explain. The sound of the boy's voice fills the arena, warm and rich, vibrating with raw truth. There's no nerves now, no shaking hands. The power of the song carries him. Every note is shaped with precision. Every phrase has weight. Every breath is intentional. People in the audience start whispering urgently to each other. He sounds like a grown singer. How is he doing that? This kid is incredible. The camera zooms in on Leanne's face, eyes closed, brows subtly furrowed, every bit of emotion pouring through him. He hits a transition note so smoothly the crowd gasps. It's not just talent, it's soul, real soul, the kind that comes from pain, from experience, from depth no child should ever have to feel. As the first chorus arrives, his voice swells. He doesn't overdo it. He doesn't shout. He doesn't show off. He lets the song grow naturally, giving it color and emotion like a seasoned artist. The audience is locked in. Phones are recording. Some fans already know this is going viral. This moment is going to explode online. Then comes the high note, the note that breaks expectations, breaks logic, breaks the silence in the room. He hits it not with force, but with clarity. It rings through the arena like a bell. Goosebumps spread across the crowd. A woman in the front row covers her mouth, crying. A man wipes his eyes. Even the judges look shaken. Sophia looks emotional. Heidi whispers, "Oh my God." Simon doesn't move. He's frozen. Completely transfixed. His eyes are locked on the boy as if the world around them has stopped. Leon opens his eyes, and for a moment, the audience sees something deep inside him. Pain, love, memory, longing. The song becomes more than a performance. It becomes a story. His father's story, a connection between past and present, and the entire arena feels it. When he reaches the final verse, his voice softens again, fragile and delicate. The lights dim lower, focusing only on him. The audience waits, breathless. He sings the last line with a gentle, lingering tone that echoes across the room and slowly fades. Silence follows. A deep, heavy silence. Like the whole arena is mourning something and celebrating it at the same time. Then, an explosion. The audience rises to their feet, screaming, cheering, crying, clapping. The sound is so loud it feels like the walls are shaking. Leon stands still, wide-eyed, overwhelmed. Tears fill his eyes, not because of the applause, but because he feels, in that moment, that his father is with him. The camera cuts to the judges. Heidi is standing, her hand over her heart. Sophia wipes tears from her face. Howie shakes his head in disbelief, applauding. Simon is still frozen. He hasn't clapped yet. He hasn't moved. He's staring at Leon like he's seeing something rare, something powerful, something unforgettable. Finally, slowly, Simon stands. The audience screams louder. Leon looks confused, unsure of what's happening. Simon leans forward, places both hands on the table, and lets out a long breath. He begins, but he stops, blinking as if trying to find the right words. That was extraordinary. The audience erupts again. Simon steps forward. Leon's eyes widen. He knows what's about to happen but refuses to believe it until it happens. Simon places his hand over the golden buzzer. He pauses, looks at the boy and says, "Your father would be proud." Then, bam! His hand crashes down on the button. Golden confetti explodes from the ceiling like fireworks. The music blasts through the speakers. The crowd screams so loudly the cameras shake. Leon drops the microphone, covering his mouth with both hands, tears streaming down his face. His knees buckle and he almost falls, but two stage crew members rush behind him to steady him. He sobs openly, not with sadness, but with relief, love, fulfillment. His dream, his father's dream, both coming true in one blinding golden moment. Simon walks onto the stage, something he rarely does for contestants. He reaches the boy, kneels slightly to his height, and places a hand on his shoulder. Leon is crying so hard he can't speak. Simon gives him a rare smile, soft, genuine, emotional. "You deserve this," he says. "You deserve everything coming your way." The judges join them. Heidi hugs him. Sophia wipes his tears. Howie gives him a proud pat on the back. The audience chants his name, Leon, Leon, Leon. As the confetti continues to fall, the cameras capture the moment that will soon break the internet. Millions will share it. Millions will cry watching it. Millions will wonder how such a voice, such emotion, such depth came from someone so young. But only Leon knows the truth behind that performance. Only he knows the man whose memory carried him to this stage. Only he knows why Hotel California means more than just a song. And as the lights dim and he walks off stage surrounded by the judges, clutching the golden buzzer like a treasure, he whispers softly to himself, "We did it, Papa."